channel. I am Heather Tiemann, and I am part of the Lexington group, powered by Century 21 803 Realty, and I'm a realtor down here in the beautiful area of Lexington, Columbia, South Carolina. Now that we got that out of the way, today we are going to talk about some shocks that people may experience when moving to South Carolina. I run a Moving to Lexington Facebook group, and this has been asked a couple of times, and I thought they had some great answers. So I wanted to hop on here and talk about what some things that people that moved here have found to be shocking. So hopefully they help you in your journey here not be quite as shocking. But before we get started, like always, I'm going to ask that you like and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. It means so much, and it is very helpful in growing my channel. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one is going to be the humidity. Like, that is probably the number one thing that people talk about. You can read about it all you want. You hear about it, but actually living here is a huge difference. The humidity, a lot of people look at our average temperatures through the summer and they think, oh, well, my state may get that hot or it's not too bad and things like that. But the humidity makes it feel much, much hotter here. Hotter, that's the correct word. And it is very sticky. So during our summer, it can be uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable. And no matter how many times I prepare people for this and I talk about it and I bring it up, humidity is always a shock to people because it's one of those things that until you truly experience it, you're not going to understand it. It's not so bad on the coast. It's still quite humid there. However, you do get the coastal breeze, so not so bad there. But here in the Midlands and Lexington and Columbia, we don't have that coastal breeze and we don't have the cold air from the mountains. So it is very stagnant air. So that can be a big thing when people are moving here that they're not quite prepared for. Along with humidity, since we're talking about weather, let's also talk about people were surprised how cold it can get here. So while our winters are fairly mild compared to most, we don't really get snow, we very rarely get ice or anything like that, we can get quite cold on occasion. Especially if you lived here for a few years and you get acclimated to our warmer weather, it can feel much colder, but we do have some days that are at freezing or below freezing, just something to be prepared for. So while you probably don't need all of your winter gear if you're from up north, at least bring one winter jacket. Just so on those days that it does get colder, you are prepared. Another thing people are shocked about is the cost of hair and nails. It is more expensive here to have your hair done and your nails done. From what I hear, I feel like that's probably likely to do with something along the lines of supply and demand. If you are from a much larger city where there is 100,000 different places to get your hair and nails done, they have to have some way of competing. We're not from a major metropolitan area, so that's not really the case. Supply and demand kind of thing. Not 100% sure if that's the reason or if it's not the reason, but something that people are shocked about. I've also seen that people are shocked about the cost of groceries here. I've went grocery shopping in many different places. Personally, I don't really see that much of a cost difference. I do wonder if there's some people that have said that were grocery shopping pre-COVID, before prices skyrocketed on everything, and now they're comparing pre-COVID prices from where they're at to South Carolina prices now. So I'm unsure if that is the exact reason, but from my experience going to many different states and many different cities, I don't really see there being that big of a cost difference, but people have said it, so maybe I just don't know where to shop in those areas. Very well could be, because again, I'm not a local in other states, I'm a local here. So I can only really truly talk about here. Getting into kind of a funny one is a lot of people are shocked that we use, not always, but a lot of people use pine straw as mulch. It's cheap. We have pine trees everywhere. It makes good mulch from what I hear. So a lot of people use pine straw as mulch here, and that is shocking to many people. I don't really have much to say on that topic. It's just one of those things that's a little quirky here that people find weird. Another kind of funny one is Southern sayings. I personally call it a cart, like a shopping cart, but a lot of people here will call it a buggy instead of a shopping cart. So if anybody ever mentions, oh, go grab me a buggy, that's what they mean. We do not turn on the lights or turn off the lights. We cut on the lights and cut off the lights. I do say that one, so I am guilty of that one. And I run a meetup group called Lexington Newcomers, and somebody brought up two things. There were two separate people, but one says, where do you stay? And apparently that is something that Southern people say, is where do you stay, instead of where do you live. Never thought of it as weird. That's just always what we said. But, you know, some people, they're not used to it. And then another one, which I thought was a little strange, I never heard this before, is Southern people say, hey. Like, hey y'all, how are you doing? And us people from other states, they say hi. So they thought that maybe they were being rude by saying hi. I'm like, no. I mean, honestly, I never would have thought about that. I didn't even realize that was a difference. So just a couple of things that I think were kind of funny that were shocking to people when they moved here. Moving on into our next category, and this one, guys, is very shocking to people because no matter how many times I prepare you for it, it's still shocking. We have bugs. Lots and lots and lots and lots of bugs. Particularly our state bug, which is the mosquito. And you're going to start seeing them probably about right now until end of September, mid-October, things like that. And they can get pretty bad. They can make being outside a little unbearable at times. However, I highly recommend having a pest control company come out and spray your yard for mosquitoes. And generally that keeps them at bay. So you're at least able to really enjoy your own yard space without being eaten up by mosquitoes. But something to be prepared for. The number one thing we hear is the palmetto bugs. Palmetto bugs look like cockroaches. They are cockroaches. They're very large, and they're not this big. They're like this big. And they fly, and they really freak people out. They really freak people out. Understandably, if I've never seen a palmetto bug before in my life, and I was not raised here, they probably would freak me out too. But they do not infest your house like, say, you know, German cockroaches would. But palmetto bugs, you will find them occasionally. If you have monthly or quarterly pest control, generally that keeps them at bay for the most part, but they do like to run in when it's cold outside or when it's raining to get out of those conditions, kind of thing. But they're not cute, and they can really freak some people out. So when you're moving here, something to be prepared for is that you're probably going to see palmetto bugs. That is just something that we have. But genuinely, it is one of those things that really freak people out. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, in this video, I'm going to talk about our seasons. So a lot of people think that we have 4 seasons like every other state, but really and truly we have a couple more seasons than that. So, you know, we have your typical spring, summer, winter, and fall. We have those 4 seasons, and that is what's nice about South Carolina is we do have actually all 4 seasons. Which I do think is great. We have our hot and humid summer. We have our mild and warm spring. We have our mild and cool winter, fall, and then we have a fairly cold, cool winter. So we do have all 4 seasons here, but we also have 2 others. Number 1 being pollen season, which we are currently in the midst of right now. And pollen is going to dust everything. Every single thing is going to be yellow. You walk outside, your cars are yellow. Your patio furniture is yellow. Your cat is yellow. My cat was yellow the other day. So be prepared for pollen season. Go ahead, get you your Zyrtec, your Claritin, get that ready because Allergies are no joke. I'm a South Carolina native. I still suffer from allergies during pollen season. So every day during pollen season, I am taking my Zyrtec to keep me functioning as much as I can. And then the second one is football season. In the South, we take our football very seriously. And it's not really NFL football, it is college football. And when you move to South Carolina, you're going to be given two choices: Clemson or Carolina Gamecocks. So you're going to have to make that choice. It's a requirement. You know, if you want to get a driver's license here, they're going to make you check which team you go for. I'm just kidding. But it is very serious here. And people will get very, very, very angry with you. So just understand that Southern people are very, very nice, except for when they're watching football. And then they're not nice. So something to keep in mind. Prepare you for football season is coming in the late summer, early fall. So those are our 6 seasons in South Carolina. So that is what I have for you today. If you have any questions about this video or things that I talked about in this video, definitely feel free to drop a comment down below. And also, if you are interested in moving to the Lexington, Columbia, any of the surrounding areas, in the description box below is my contact information. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you have, help you on your journey here. And there's also a link to all of our Facebook groups, which are a wealth of information. I try to keep those very informative and educational and fun and lighthearted. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!